I've always been drawn to mysteries, the kind that linger in forgotten corners, whispered through generations, unanswered and unexplained. Perhaps that's why I couldn't resist the enigma of Blackridge Manor, or as locals ominously call it, the Whispering House. My name is Michael Evans, and until recently, I taught history at Blackridge High School. Nestled within the dense forests of New England, our town is small, seemingly peaceful, but behind the quaint charm of our tree-lined streets lies something darker, something hidden from plain sight. The Victorian mansion known as Blackridge Manor has stood at the outskirts of our town for over a century, casting long shadows filled with unanswered questions and dark legends. Built in 1889 by Jonathan Crowley, an enigmatic and wealthy industrialist, the manor was initially celebrated as a symbol of prosperity and elegance. But on a chilling autumn morning in 1924, everything changed. The Crowley family, Jonathan, his wife Eleanor, and their two children, Emma and Samuel, vanished without a trace. Authorities arriving at the scene found an eerily untouched home-warmed teacups resting on the table, half-eaten breakfasts left abandoned, clothing neatly folded as though prepared for an ordinary day. More disturbingly, sets of footprints leading outside simply ended at the property's edge, with no indication of where the family might have gone. It was as though they'd stepped off the very edge of existence. The incident became a dark legend, whispered among locals for generations. Tales of ghostly figures glimpsed through shattered windows, mysterious lights dancing in empty halls, and haunting whispers drifting from within. The manor's walls circulated, becoming folklore. Like most townspeople, I grew up hearing these unsettling tales, but brushed them aside as fanciful stories meant to frighten children. Yet something about the manor's mystery refused to let me go. As an adult, my fascination grew into obsession. Countless nights spent sifting through old archives, historic records, and diaries eventually revealed a troubling discovery. Blackridge Manor had been built atop sacred Native American ceremonial grounds. Letters from the era depicted heated exchanges between Crowley and the local tribal elders, who warned him repeatedly of dire consequences should he proceed. Crowley arrogantly ignored every warning, sealing his family's tragic fate. Unable to resist my growing curiosity, I visited the manor one cold, moonless night. Standing before the decaying iron gates, I felt a distinct unease, an unnatural stillness in the air. Yet driven by an irresistible force, I entered. Immediately, the oppressive weight of the past bore down upon me. Every creak of the wooden floor beneath my feet echoed with spectral resonance, whispering secrets of long-forgotten despair. Cold, stale air filled my lungs, tinged with a scent of decay. Yet, even more unsettling were the whispers, soft at first, barely audible, growing gradually louder with every step deeper into the manor. Drawn upward by their persistent call, I ascended the grand staircase, my flashlight casting trembling shadows against peeling wallpaper and faded portraits, whose eyes seemed to follow me accusingly. The whispers, clearer now yet maddeningly indecipherable, led me down a corridor toward a room that radiated an eerie energy. Pushing open the door, my heart hammered painfully. The room was nearly empty, save for an antique mirror, its surface clouded with age. As I approached, the whispers stopped abruptly, plunging the room into a deafening silence. Nervously, I peered into the mirror, seeing my reflection distort grotesquely before my eyes. An invisible force seized me, and a voice deep, chilling, resonant echoed within my very bones. "Leave or join us." Panic surged through my veins as I turned to flee. But the corridor had shifted, stretched infinitely, lined with countless doors that defied logic and reality. Desperate, I tore open door after door, each revealing horrifying glimpses into the final moments of the Crowley strapped, eternally repeating their nightmarish disappearance. Reality fractured around me as I realized the terrifying truth. The manor itself was alive, forever replaying its trauma, absorbing the souls of any who entered. Days melted into each other as I wandered, lost within the manor's labyrinthine halls, tormented by relentless whispers. Finally collapsing from exhaustion and despair, I begged forgiveness for sins not my own, pleading for mercy from unseen entities. With dawn, I awoke, miraculously outside, stumbling away from the manor's oppressive shadow. Yet freedom brought no peace. My dreams became haunted by visions of lost souls begging silently for release. Endlessly pleading eyes gazing from the darkness. Consumed by the manor's influence, I returned once more to the archives, desperate to unravel my connection. It was there, hidden among forgotten photographs, that I discovered something terrifying. A faded image from 1924, taken days before the Crowley family's disappearance, depicting me standing alongside them, smiling in clothing I'd never worn, in a life I'd never lived. Tonight, as I record this final account, I know my fate is bound irrevocably to the Whispering House. Driven by a force beyond understanding, I return, perhaps to end this curse, or perhaps to join those trapped within. As I approach the manor's forbidding gates again, familiar whispers rise to greet. May a dark choir welcoming me home. If you ever discover this recording, heed my warning and resist the manor's sinister call, for the Whispering House remembers. It always remembers.